Hello, sunshine. How's everyone? So we got Chris German and Lose Life that's just popped in. Thanks, guys, for coming in. More will probably drop in as we go on. But, you know, it's not going to stop me from talking. Even if there was no one here, I'd still be doing this. So, how's everybody? As I click away. I'm just sorting things out. Whatever. Right. Okay, then. I'm just going to get into it. I don't want this to be a long one. I'm trying to probably max it out to about an hour, depending if anyone decides to come on and question me about things. But I'm just going to get into this. So, a couple of days ago, we had Greg Russo tweet up how the mark works, and he says something along the lines of, you know, what we already know, like if someone like a family member, say let's go with Hanzo. So Hanzo's got the mark, he's died, so the mark passes on to the next of kin, the next oldest, and he just keeps going down and down and down. So it's weird because, okay, how does that work with stealing it? So is there a finite amount of these marks going around? Do you see what I mean? So you got like the likes of Shang Tsung and everyone else killing off these people with the mark. What happens when there's no one with a mark? So it's a bit confusing. But I didn't say that to Greg at the time. I just kind of like went the Cassie Cage route. It's like, well, hang on. It's like, we know that Sonya's got a mark. We're assuming that Johnny Cage has one. So wouldn't that stand a chance that Cassie Cage would have one? And if she hasn't, how would she get one? Would she have to follow in her mom's footsteps and steal one? And he kind of says, yes, steal it. She'd steal it. And I'm like, that kind of like negates the characters, because in the games, and I know the games are different to the movies, but we know that Johnny Cage's green energy is linked to what? The Mayans? Like a Mayan, ancient Mayans? So why not have Johnny Cage not have the mark, but have his own special ability? You could call it his arcana. You can call it that. So for the sake of this, it's Johnny Cage's arcana without a mark, without the dragon mark, is this green energy, which is going to lead me to what the story of this stream is about now. As you can see by the image, it's got the picture of Shinnok, which looks like he's doing something with the mark. So, right. Let's get into it. As I was writing this today, I come up with this first line. I put, the mark that indicates the chosen ones to compete in Mortal Kombat is a lie. Now that is a proper, like, you know, standout sentence. It's like, what do you mean it's a lie? How can it be a lie? So I go further, and what I've put here is Lord Raiden, in his pursuit of finding warriors that bear the mark, believes that only those that have the marking are the only ones that can unlock their arcana and be strong enough to defend Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat. So, as we see in the film, Raiden believes that the ones with the mark are the only ones that can unlock their arcana and battle against other people that are, you know, got powers and things like that. Now, this again, it's like, how many of these people have got marks? Do you see what I mean? It's like, if Outworld keeps killing people with the mark, surely there's never going to be enough people to defend Earthrealm in the long run. you see what I mean? So who's Raiden going to go and select next? So I was thinking about this today, and I was like, well, what if I could lay some groundwork and do a sort of deception style storyline going back thousands of years to when Mortal Kombat was declared on Earthrealm. So when Outworld declared Mortal Kombat on Earthrealm, word of it would reach NetherRealm and to Shinnok. So I played on it more. I thought, right, okay, I'll go back and I'll just see what I can do in terms of what we've got in the film already and try to weave in my own little take. Now, I did tweet to Greg in replies saying, if you want to hear my idea, I'm open for it. So I had no response. So I thought, right, okay, if he doesn't want to know my idea on getting around this, because he seems to think there's no holes in his writing, but there is. There's plenty of holes. But me being a Mortal Kombat fan and wanting the movie series to succeed, I want to help. I want to try and rationalize things within this movie universe. So I'm trying to do it creatively, not just throw things in there, throw some at the wall and hope it sticks. I'm trying to give a good idea on how to get around this idea. Because the way with the mark works, you're backing yourself into a corner. So, as I'll go through what I've wrote as well. So I'll put here, when Mortal Kombat was declared on Earthrealm by Outworld, Raiden would travel the world to find powerful warriors to fight against Outworld. Raiden would find warriors with inner powers, their arcana. These random warriors bear the marking of the dragon. So, this is just recently that he's been going around looking for people with the mark. And I'll get into why he believes this. So, as I go further, it's like after losing many tournaments, Raiden grew desperate in finding fighters that bear the marking, believing they are the only people that have the arcana. Raiden has been fooled. So you're probably thinking, how's he been fooled? It's a marking. Surely they've been chosen. You've got Liu Kang and everything else. But again, Liu Kang wasn't chosen. He had to steal the marking, as it said in the film. Kung Lao, I don't know if he or Daddy stole it, but you have to assume that because he was part of the Wushu Order of Light, he was their champion. So you got to assume that he already had the mark. But Liu Kang never. He was never chosen. So it's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean that he's as strong as we're led to believe. Because in the games, he's the chosen one, whereas in the movies, they're all chosen. And as Sonya says to Kano, you were never chosen. You stole that mark. And it's the same with Liu Kang. He was never chosen. He stole the mark. So I don't like how they've lowered Liu Kang. Because the more I think about this film, the more I can rip it to shreds. And it's a shame. But this is why I've come up with this idea to actually make people like Liu Kang more than what the film has led us to believe now. So, as I go here, I'm going to go through my writing again. During the time when Outworld declared Mortal Kombat on Earthrealm, word of this reached Netherrealm through the sorcerer Quan Chi to the fallen elder god Shinnok. Shinnok, at this time, is the ruler of Netherrealm. So he's already beaten Lucifer. He's already, the ruler of the Netherrealm, and he's just buying his time. He's waiting. You know, he's been locked there for millions and millions and millions of years. So I'm sure he can wait a few more decades or centuries. So Shinnok decided to let Outworld and Earth Realm battle. Both realms would be weakened enough for him to destroy both later on. So he's allowing the Mortal Kombat to continue. Right? But because what the film indicates in the pictures that we've seen of Raiden knocking down Shinnok in the murals, we've got to assume that Raiden is the one to deliver that blow, that final blow. So it's safe to assume that Shinnok has a bit of a vendetta against Raiden. So I've put here, with Raiden being the only obstacle in his way, Shinnok would devise an enchantment on Earth that would later trick Raiden and weaken Earthrealm's chances in Mortal Kombat over time. So you're probably thinking, what do you mean? What has he done? So I've put here the deception. All Earthrealmers have an arcana, but do not pursue to unlock it. If they don't know they've got something, they're not going to pursue it, are they? So if you have all Earthrealmers having an arcana, they all have this power, every single one of us. If you strongly pursue it, you've got a better chance of unlocking it. Shinnok knew this. So the deception is Shinnok would enchant random Earthrealmers with a marking that would bring forth that person's arcana quicker and with almost little effort. So why would Shinnok want to do this? Why would he want to bring on arcanas quicker with the ones that have this mark randomly? So because Raiden is desperate, looking for fighters, he sees or notices these fighters all bear the mark. So it seems funny that he would see these warriors or random people with all these special abilities, but all have the same mark. So this would instantly make Raiden think, well, okay, these must be the chosen ones. Do you see what I mean? So over time, Earthrealm is still losing tournaments, but the ones that have the mark are the ones that are unlocking their powers quicker. So Raiden's going to seek these ones out. He's going to seek out the ones with the mark because they seem to be the ones that could unlock their arcana more or quicker. But Raiden seems to believe that these are the only ones that have the arcana. Do you see what I mean? Can you see what's going on? So, what did I put here? Yeah, so basically, over time, Raiden is going through this and believing a lie. This is all a lie. Because Shinnok has devised this little plan to have random people have this mark, which is distracting Raiden from actually seeking out the strongest of us. So the deception is Shinnok has forced Raiden or manipulated Raiden into looking for those with the mark who, you know, they could have really shitty powers, but it doesn't matter because the mark has brought forth a power. And Raiden sees it. So he's looking for those instead of looking for the strongest that would be more willing to unlock their arcana. Do you see what I mean? So that is Shinnok's deception. This is the deception of the mark. And it's all Shinnok's doing. Probably with the help of Quan Chi. You could say, you know, Quan Chi is around. You know, because he helped Shinnok defeat Lucifer in the Netherrealm. So, you know, Quan Chi's involved. but Shinnok is the one behind the plan of the mark. So it's all a big lie. If we all have it and we don't know we have it, we're not gonna pursue it. But this is why Raiden should be looking for the strongest of us to help us unlock it. This is why I think Sonya in the movie, when she had her marking, her mind was more open to wanting to unlock her arcana instead of actively trying to do it herself. Because she thought she never had a mark, there was nothing there to pursue until Raiden told her in the temple that she don't have a mark, therefore you don't have an arcana. So why would she actively pursue it? Now, when she, spoiler, kills Kano and takes his marking, her mind is more open now to wanting to unlock her arcana. That's why my rationality behind her unlocking it so quick is because her mind is more open to it. Mixed with the fact that the marking, Shinnok's marking, so I'm going to call it Shinnok's mark, has also brought it forward. So there we go. That's the deception of the mark. Lou says, as he's just popped up, so Shinnok is the reason for the markings. Yeah. This is me laying the groundwork for Shinnok to really get in the mind of Raiden and have a one-up over Raiden and say, I played you like a fool. I played Earthrealm like a fool. I deceived you to selecting bad fighters. Which is why it's so easy to kill someone and gain that mark. Do you see what I mean? It's like, there's got to be some mystical element there. If you kill someone, the mark transfers. Why would it transfer? It's because it's not a real marking. You're not really chosen. It's Shinnok's mark. Chris says, to throw Raiden off from finding the best fighters. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the deception. So it makes Raiden actively look for those with the marking instead of actively looking for the best ones, looking for the best of us, or having that sense of, okay, he's got an arcana that's really strong, like Hanzo. Hanzo's arcana was strong and he had a mark, but you know, this is pre Mortal Kombat. This is before Earthrealm. No, this is during the time Earthrealm. Earthrealm was challenged by Outworld. So it was during that time, and which is where Shinnok would enact his plan and try to deceive Raiden. So, of course, over the tournaments, Raiden would become more desperate finding these people with the mark. And it doesn't matter who he finds, doesn't matter how crap the arcana is, he believes now that these are the chosen ones. And they're the only ones that he can select. Because if no one has an arcana, they can't fight Outworlders because they just haven't got any powers. This is what he's led to believe. And it's all Shinnok's plan to, over time, not just weaken Earthrealm and Outworld, but to also weaken Raiden's resolve. So weaken him mentally. Hang on, what's this? Who's Susan? I haven't blocked anybody. I don't get it. Who's Susan? I haven't blocked anybody. How do I unblock someone? I don't get it. Oh, hang on. Susan is censoring Dave. Who's censoring me? So I shouldn't be looking at the chat. I'm trying to get this out. I'm just going through the chat Let's have a look here. It makes sense because it stands the arcana system has flaws. It really does. It's like the mark passes on to the person who killed that person with the mark, and it just happens that that person can unlock their arcana pretty easy. And it just happens that, you know, it could be really crap and they don't know how to use it properly. So it's unnatural. They've unnaturally unlocked their arcana. Thanks, Lou. It's a sick plot twist. Thanks. It's laying the groundwork for future Mortal Kombat films that will show that Shinnok has been there from the start. Now, I remember you telling me this before, Chris. Did anyone catch Raiden referring to himself as an Elder God in the Void, or was I hearing things? Now, did he say Elder God or Thunder God? Or as a God? Did he say as a God, not an Elder God? Do you see what I mean? So I'll have to rewatch that. I did say I was going to do it, but I forgot. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. It just clicked. I'm tired. So if I sound a bit off today, it's because I am literally tired. Oh, Jeebus. So where was I? Okay, so that's my idea on this arcana. Everyone having it, everyone having this ability, but we just don't pursue it. So if we don't know it's there, there's no point unlocking it if we don't know it's there. But Shinnok's deception is for the mark to unlock it quicker in order to twist Raiden into believing the mark are the chosen. So as I said before, it seems weird that Liu Kang was never chosen. It seems odd, doesn't it? Liu Kang had to kill someone to gain that mark. And he even says that instantly, from that moment, his arcana come forth. So you could say that when he was training to unlock his arcana. He was training. He was pursuing it. So when he killed that nasty person and gained their marking, he kind of rushed on that process very, very quickly because he was almost there anyway. Which is why, like he says, at that moment, my arcana come forth. So there we go. Everyone has an arcana. And I reckon if something like this was implemented in a sequel, it would, that wall that they've backed themselves into will open up and reveal more. There'll be more space to play with, because then you've got people that can be chosen that will then have their powers or be helped unlock their powers without a marking. So then you can still have the likes of Johnny Cage, have his green energy, which is not even linked to any arcana. It's a Mayan thing. So it opens that out, and then you wouldn't have to have, later on down the line in this story that they've done in the movies, you don't have to have, say, a Cassie Cage having to kill someone to gain their arcana. Because it just seems like a free-for-all. You're killing your own kind to gain a marking. So it would be really nice to have said this, all of this, to Greg in the DMs of Twitter. It would have been really nice, because he could have looked at it and thought, okay, this does open up more possibilities. It really does. no longer does an Earth Realmer have to kill another Earth Realmer to steal the mark. Because if that was the case, and the only way you can unlock your power is through this mark, then say Shang Tsung and Outworld kill everyone with the mark, then you've got no one left. Who's Raiden going to choose then? You see what I mean? That's one of the biggest obstacles you've got with this marking. So I'm kind of hoping that something like this idea that I've come up with, this deeper meaning to the mark, you know, actually opens up a bigger possibility to the future. So there we go. So I'd like now, for those that have heard all this, what would you say about this as an idea that could be used in a sequel? Do you think it would open out the universe more? Is it good for laying the groundwork for the likes of Shinnok and Quan Chi? Have Shinnok there play Raiden from the start. So then when it comes down to it, Shinnok can then rub it in Raiden's face. What's this? Would it not be if an Earthrealmer kills an Earthrealmer and passes it to them? If another Realmer kills if another Realmer kills an Earthrealmer, the mark passes on to the next Earthrealmer. How does that happen, though? Do you see what I mean? If it can only pass on to the so this is the thing. Sonya killed Kano. Right? So she gets the mark. But yet Greg Russo says that if say a person has a sibling, a child, and they die, it would pass down to them. So effectively, they've stolen it from that bloodline. Do you see what I mean? It's that marking is now not part of that bloodline going forward. It's another hole in the marking. So say Kano has a kid and Kano died. Wouldn't that mark pass down to him then instead of Sonya? This is what I mean. They've backed themselves into a corner because there's just too much there to go wrong. I think it's really good, Dave. I think they need to make it more about the marking. If they make it more about the marking and the origins of the marking, and then it goes back to, like what I've just said, Shinnok is the one behind it, manipulating Raiden to selecting crappy fighters with the marking because they can bring their powers forward quicker, then it stands a chance that Raiden's going to be deceived on picking the right people. Maybe Raiden would have picked Liu Kang if Liu Kang was there training his arse off. But no, he was kind of selected because he had the mark. And then his power come forward. Do you see how this kind of lessens Liu Kang? It really does lessen him. Chris says, it's an idea that fix the holes that the writers do not want to acknowledge, with all respect intended. Yes, this is what I did try to say to Greg. Look, if you want to listen to my idea, I'm ready. And I had no response. As soon as I said, I'm here with the ideas, if you want to listen, no response. So it's either he can't and he's not allowed to, or selfish pride, and he thinks that his story's the best and no one can touch it. If he really wanted to listen to fans, now he says the fan himself, he should really listen to those that will pay to see the movie. Do you see what I mean? You know, you got us ground level Mortal Kombat fans that want to fix the movie. If we can't fix this movie that come out now, we have ways of fixing it in later movies through the idea I have now. With this idea, it would really fix what's happened in the last movie of people's arcanas just coming out of nowhere. You know, Jax's arms, metal arms, just coming out of nowhere because it's a false power. Do you see what I mean? Now, I would really like it if Greg or someone would actually take this on board. He can twist it how he wants. But the way I've constructed it, it not only fixes the holes in the marking, but it also opens up more possibilities of the Netherrealm, Shinnok, Quan Chi, and how Raiden's been played through all of these years. I'll get to this image here. Here we go, John. Oh, hang on, it's gone again. Yeah, because they have both bested in combat, which in theory means the stronger fighter gets the mark. If killed by someone from a different realm, it passes on to a random fighter, number 7 on Earth. Well, they don't mention that in the film. Do you see what I mean? You've got to go by what is in this film. It doesn't say or explain that if people killed with the marking of Earth, that marking passes on to another Earth realmer, simply because that person that's killed the person with the marking, we've been told that that marking passes on to the person that's killed that person with the marking. Now, if they have explained that this only works with Earth realmers, then if Sub-Zero is the one that's been killing these people as well, he would have how many marks on him? Loads. He would have Mortal Kombat marks all over his body. Do you see how it's another hole? So if it's the case that the person dies naturally with a marking, then it passes down to the next sibling. Okay. But if the person is killed by an outworlder, then does that mark then leave that bloodline? Does it completely leave that bloodline and pass on to the outworlder? It's a spaghetti highway. There's too many ways to go. It's too complicated. So with this idea that I've come up with, it actually makes the marking more of a sinister plot created by Shinnok. And it would show that the reason why Raiden looked so dejected in the movie, he thought, well, this is all I've got to play with. This is all I've got to work with. Realising that, you know, he's left with the riffraff. He's left with the scraps. Those with the marking, you know, that's left are scraps. But all because he believes that it's only the ones with the markings that have the power to fight. And it's not the case. It wouldn't be the case. With this idea, it wouldn't be the case. It would open up the whole world to Raiden. And then he can then use his intuitive. He can then use his senses to find the greatest instead of those with the marking. Finally, you've missed it all now, future boy. I'm going now. No, I'm joking. I'll go about another half an hour. because I'm hoping for people to throw questions at me over my idea, or if people want me to explain more. I mean, I could go over some things if you want me to. But as I go over again, I'll try and go over it again. I've got half an hour. So basically, the marking is a lie. Raiden has been deceived by Shinnok. And Shinnok devised this plan just as Outworld declared Mortal Kombat on Earthrealm. And because Raiden was the one that delivered the final blow to Shinnok to send him to the Netherrealm, he's got a bit of a vendetta against him. So what better way to play on his mind than to try to get Raiden to believe that the chosen ones are the ones with the marking. Now, the enchantment that is put on this marking, as I've said earlier, is it would, whoever human has got it, it would bring forth their arcana quicker with less effort. Because Shinnok knows that every Earthrealmer, every one of us, has an arcana. Every one of us. But because we don't know we have it, we don't have to pursue it. If we knew we had it, we would actively pursue it and try to unlock it. If you don't know you've got something, how would you know to unlock it? Shinnok knows this. So to deceive Raiden from seeking out the best and strongest of Earth, the arcana, the marking would bring forth the arcana quicker of random people that are not the strongest. So Raiden, over the years, would come to believe that these with the markings who can bring forth their powers are the chosen ones. And Raiden's believed that ever since. So instead of going for the strongest, like he should have, he has been deceived to look for those with the marking because they can bring forth their powers quicker, with less effort, but with less control. And over the years, over the tournaments, Earthrealm has been losing, which has also made Raiden seep into some sort of depression. He looks dejected, which is why we see Raiden the way he is in that film, in the Mortal Kombat film. He looks dejected because he's been led for so many years that those with the markings are the only ones that have that can unlock their arcana. So Shinnok has deceived Raiden pretty well. This is why Raiden has lost 9. Exactly. To see how my idea now has weaved its way through the film and it works. It fits. It fits perfectly. Raiden has lost 9 consecutive tournaments because all he's been led to believe is that those with the marking are the only ones that are chosen to compete and the only ones that can unlock their abilities. So he's let go of all of his what can I say? His own intuitiveness, because the marking, the deception of the marking, has worked. It's dragged Raiden into believing that those with the marking are the ones he should be looking for. And Shinnok's there just rubbing his hands. So overall, it's weakening Earth And it's also weakening Outworld because, you know, some of the fighters that do have the mark, I'm assuming that, you know, Kung Lao had the marking and he was the best. He was an actual chosen one. So those would be the types of fighters that he would come across. They've trained all their lives and their powers are legitimate. Even though they've got the marking and their powers have come forward, they have literally trained to harness them and hone them. Whereas the likes of Liu Kang, who was never chosen, as this film depicts, was training alongside Kung Lao, almost unlocking his arcana. He was almost there. Right? Because my idea is that everyone has an arcana, everybody. And when, you know, fate would have it that Liu Kang would come across a very nasty person, he would kill this person who had the marking. That marker would transfer to Liu Kang, to which Liu Kang's arcana would come forth straight away because he was almost unlocking it anyway. It's just that the marking just kicked it over the edge. But it seems weird that the film would depict Liu Kang as not being chosen. And I don't like it personally. And I don't think any Mortal Kombat fan would like that personally as well. I think as a collective, all MK fans would not like the fact that Liu Kang was never chosen. But going through the deception of the mark, anyone could unlock their arcana if they train, if they actively pursue it. So there we go. I'm hoping that I've explained it to the best of my abilities. Thanks. Yeah, it's amazing. Thanks, Lou. Lassie, thanks for coming in as well. This is awesome. Thank you. Let's see some. Chris says, sadly, we are not likely to get anything near this depth. In the words of Cabal, this is effing tragic. Oh, yeah, in the film. This is fucking tragic. And Lou again, that would make so much sense. And it really would. It would open up the universe so much. It would instantly tie off all of them little knots. All them loose ties that are there, that all be tied off. All them little holes in the way the marking works, it would be brushed aside because we'd know it's Shinnok that's deceived everybody. It's like, you know, in the games you have Mortal Kombat deception. So wouldn't it be cool to have a deception style storyline that's different to the games in the Mortal Kombat universe? And I think that this idea would fit so well and just tie off all them loose ends and fill in all them little holes. Man. Greg, look, I'm free. Todd Gardner, I'm free. I mean, damn it, you can have this idea for free. Just say, basic idea, created by Dave Savage. That's all I want. You don't have to pay me. Don't want any money. Just a little bit of recognition. Just put my name there saying, based on idea by Dave Savage. So it's there now. It's all here. Greg, listen to me. I am your father. No, I'm joking. So there we go. This is what I've got. And I'm hoping that, you know, if it's just think about it all day today. it's like going through line by line. How can I weave this in through the film that already exists? If they're not going to change anything by like a proper release date of like a Blu-ray or something, then we've got to work around it. We have to work around it. And as I was at work today, I kind of like thought, hang on a minute. If what Greg says is true, and that's the way he wants it with the marking, then Liu Kang's not even chosen. And I was shaking my head for a good 5-10 minutes. I was like, how can that be? How can that be? How can Liu Kang not be a chosen one? He had to steal it like Sonya did, and like Kano did, and like Jax did. They had to steal the marking. They were never chosen. And it blew my mind when I thought that. It literally blew my mind. I was like, oh my God. Those in the Mortal Kombat film who were fighting for Earthrealm were never chosen. And that's when I thought, right, something has to be done here. I need to change it. And with the idea I already had the idea of Shinnok coming in. And then I intertwined it with him creating the deception of the mark. Because before I did have Quan Chi do it. I did have Quan Chi do it. But I thought, well, I want to lay a bit more groundwork here. So I thought, okay, if I change it from Quan Chi to Shinnok, this would make Shinnok be there from the very beginning of when Outworld declared Mortal Kombat on Earthrealm. And Shinnok finding his opportunity to get one up over on Raiden. I'd laugh if tied into the stream. You know what? Link him to it. Say, get in on the stream. Get in. What's this? Lou says, I think Joe Taslim is going to be the main focus point for the next 4 films, whether a Sub-Zero or Noob, but I have an idea he can play as Bi-Han's dad. Only flaw I see with this dad. Suppose. No, because I mean, Joe himself says, well, he's half Edenian, and Edenians they lived for thousands of years. Now, if you mix that with his cryomancy powers that he's developed, you could say that to help his lesser human side of him, the powers that he has as a cryomancer also slows down his aging. So he could still be Bi-Han. And the same could be said for his brother. His brother has also got the same. But his brother's got a different path. Quarry Lang. So, yeah, I don't think you'd want to play his dad. But as for the focus point for the next 4 films, I don't think he should be. Now, he's signed on for 4 films, or 3. Could be 4. But, they're trying to develop this as a universe, so it makes sense to have returning people play their own roles. If they want to make, like all the Avengers, they all play their own roles. No one's been swapped out, apart from, Rhodes? The guy who played Rhodes in the first Iron Man, he got swapped out for reasons I forgot. But everyone else kind of stayed the same. So they're going to want that for these, aren't they? They don't want to pull a Mortal Kombat Annihilation and just literally swap, 80% of the original cast. So yeah. Chris said writing was the film's weakest link. Sorry, no other way I could put it. Yeah. There was too many holes there. There was too many things to try and fix. But I'm hoping that something like this would kind of fix it. in the next film. And then you could really forgive everything in the first film. Do you see what I mean? It just opens it out more. That would be sick. Is it what the is that the fact that he's half Edenian and that, and that it's his chromancy powers that is kind of slowing the age of his human side? Yeah. I think Sub will be back for the tournament at least one more time. Well, he has to literally face Scorpion in the tournament. But I think I said this in my last stream where in the rules, I did my own rules of the Mortal Kombat tournament where was it Scorpion is kind of under the influence of Quan Chi. So they're on the same side, Scorpion and Quan Chi. They're on the same side, but the rules state that anyone can challenge any fighter to Mortal Kombat. Now, people lead that to believe that it's one side versus one side, but someone alludes to Scorpion that he can actually challenge anyone from his own side. And my idea is that Quan Chi believes that he's got Scorpion in his control, but he hasn't. Scorpion's waiting. He's waiting for his time. He just doesn't want to get in there straight away. Which is why next week's stream, I'm going to go into depth with this Scorpion, Hanzo, and link with Cole. Why was it that Cole was the one to release Scorpion from the Nether Realm? Why couldn't Scorpion have left himself? You see what I mean? Because Scorpion can teleport. Why couldn't you have done it himself? I'll get into that next week. I'm stretching this out. I was going to do this stream, but I wanted to explain the deception of the barking more. So next week, I'll get into this link of Cole breaking Scorpion from the confines of the Nether Realm and why he couldn't have left himself. I believe it's 4 films. It could be 4, yeah. I've shared the stream. Thank you. Hang on, let me go check my Twitter. A minute, hang on. Oh, no one wants to come in. Oh, there we go. I'll like it for you. I've liked it. So there we go. I've liked it. So there we go. I've gone over the deception of the mark and how it's all a big lie. Basically, it's Shinnok's way of getting in the mind of Raiden. That's all it is. He's deceiving Raiden to selecting bad warriors. Random and bad warriors. Instead of Raiden using his own intuitive to hunt or search for or sense the strongest of us. So it's all a big lie. And it opens up the world. It opens up the universe for better possibilities. So now Raiden knows that the whole world is his oyster. He can select from anybody, the strongest of us. He can now actively look for the strongest of us that don't need an arcana, just need a little bit of training time to unlock it. Soon as the strongest and the best of us realise that there is something within them, they will actively pursue it. Colin is Ferrero Rocher armor. Oh, not the jumper. Yeah, but hang on, Vasily. I did say, if you picture it like it's flexible, it's not actual metal, but picture it like the Power Rangers outfits, like the old Power Ranger outfits with the spandex, where it's like a form of metal fiber that can bend. You know, it's not earth metal, but Cole's power has manipulated the metal to be something else, because it obviously absorbs kinetic energy. So it's not a metal of Earth's range. Do you see what I mean? So it's more flexible. That's how I got myself around it. So I'm just leaving that out there. Dave already has a sequel stream. Yeah. And you know what's really funny? I actually had the Scorpion Cole link idea before this one. But I thought, nah. After Greg Russo tweeted out on how the marking works, it just, in my mind, there was just too many holes. It was just Swiss cheese. And I did try to reach out to him to say, look, I've got an idea how to get rid of all these holes. But no, if Greg honestly believes that there's no holes in it, then let him carry on. It's just going to confuse things a lot more. In my eyes, it's going to confuse things a lot more. And again, to not have all of the fighters, apart from Cole, in that film, not be chosen, not actively be chosen, but ones that stole the mark, really negates them as characters, if this is the route they're going to go. I love how quick you were to respond to Greg's explanation. That was like 6 minutes. It just came up on my feed, and people were like sharing it out and retweeting it. So I was like, okay, I've got to put myself in there. But what I'm going to do now, Future Boy's got a better chance and a bigger reach. If he's still here, right, he can use this in a video and actually get a lot more people to see this. At the fact that Liu Kang was never chosen, Sonya was never chosen, Jax was never chosen, Kano was never chosen. They were never chosen. They stole their markings. So it kind of weakens the fact that the chosen are the best of us. Do you see what I mean? I know the more you think about it, the worse the story and the writing gets. Yeah, he's still here. Thank you. So, would this be something you could do a video on? Because I really want to sway the writing. And I can already see it now. Greg Russo is already halfway through his next script. He's already halfway through it. And we, as ground level fans, we need to show him this. And, you know, show him the fact that his writing has lessened all the warriors. They're not chosen. And Sonya even says it herself to Kano, you were never chosen, as a sort of put down. So wouldn't that mean that Liu Kang, not being chosen, is also being put down? Do you see where this leads? Yes, he better be. Take them notes. Do it. To be fair, I'll jump on the back. Thank you. I'll bet you no one on this planet, nobody, has ever thought about that. Has ever thought that Liu Kang, Jax, Sonya, Kano were never chosen. How bad does that make the writing of the film? That they never saw this. Yeah, okay, those with the mark can unlock their arcana. But as Sonia says, you were never chosen. It's a put down. If the writing and the film itself puts down those that were never chosen, it would stand to reason that Liu Kang has been put down. Jax has been put down. Sonya herself has been put down. No one who's been talking about Mortal Kombat as of now, today, me, has brought this forward. And it kind of makes me sad. It kind of makes me sad at the fact that Liu Kang was never chosen. Now, you say this, Chris, but I need to watch it. I need to watch it again. I'll give it a quick watch tonight after this stream. I'll skip to the end and I will let you know. Now, I will let you know in a message, not a comment, in a message. Okay? I'll let you know. So, there we go. I've gone through all this now. I don't need to go through it a fourth time. But now I'm going to get into something different. Now, I want to bring in more people. Now, the way I want to do this is actually start doing a little competition. I want to bring in a little competition. Instead of like a questionnaire, who's got the best answers. The competition is going to be along the lines of creating your own Mortal Kombat character. Do you get it? Right. So now what I'm going to do now, what you win is a Fic-tagious t-shirt. So it's going to be a Fic-tagious t-shirt, and it's going to be. Now, depending on how much this goes, I'm going to start off once a month. Actually, no, I will do it twice a month. I will do this competition twice a month. Now, I'd have to come up with a different thing every fortnight, but this competition I'm going to do now is it's going to be create your own character. Now, what's going to be involved? Now, I'm going to come to this now. So that's what you could win. Basically, it's just my YouTube logo. Fic-tagious. Because you're here. People are going to know that you've won the competition here. So this is what I want. I will put this on my Twitter for people to download, and then they can go and write on it. Or type on it, either one. So here we go. This is the form. So creation from. So you're going to put your real name or your Twitter handle or whatever you want, just as long as I know who you are. Then it's going to be the name of your character. You're going to have a short background and a short ending. Now, what I would like along with this is a drawn image or a photoshopped image or 3D image of your character. It could be any pose you want. And within the next 2 weeks, I will go through them. Now, don't forget, this is only one per person. Okay, one per person. It's going to take me 2 weeks to probably get through them. So I'm going to read through them. Now, you know me when it comes to details. I will look for them flaws. So you do your character, and what you could do, where could you send this? Where could you send it? No, yeah, okay, do it over Twitter. So you direct me in a comment. Direct it to me in a comment. So you got this along with your image. So all I'm after now is a hashtag so I can find these. So what hashtag do you think I could go with this? It's hard to come up with a hashtag on the spot. I just thought about it. I was going to do it through email, but I don't want to keep going through all my emails. There could be bugged. Now, if it's over Twitter with a hashtag, I can easily look for it. And everyone else can see what you got. So, you know, everyone can see the standards. So there we go. Future boy, here we go. Can I call myself Vincent Black? Hey, if it's an original name and you can come up with your own drawing and your own background and your own ending. Now, when it comes to the ending or the background, it doesn't matter what timeline it is. It could be any ending from any timeline. Do you see what I mean? Because the Mortal Kombat games have got so many timelines and different endings and split-offs. You can use any one of them. You could be fighting Blaze, or it could be, you know, back in Mortal Kombat 2 times, or before the tournament. Do you see what I mean? You could be a totally new character in a different timeline. It could be anything. But this is the competition. And you could win one of these lovely things. Alamaro's in. What's that? Your character is called Lang Ning. Well, if you can, what I'll do, I'll drop this in my Twitter later, and along with, you know, the details on what I'd want, and you know, do your drawing, get your details out, and I'll scrutinise it. Oh, buckle. The green Liu Kang. Can I have a signed shirt? It's if you win. It's if you win. We'd have to see. But keep it within the limits of this page. I want it short and sweet. It's got to be straight to the point. I'm going back up. You know, I haven't even checked on the YouTube chat. I could have missed so many comments. Right, hang on. So, oh, hang on, what's this? I literally just watched it. It's hard, but I think I can hear him say Elder God. Okay. I will check for myself. I go over and over and over. I'll see. I'll check. What's this? What's this? I can send gifts for his mind blown. Oh, I can't send gifts for my the mind blown. Oh my god! Oh my god! He's no chosen, and I'm taking it all in. Oh, competition time, yeah. But there you go. Do you see what I mean? The fighters that Raiden has, apart from Cole Young and Kung Lao, everyone else had to steal their markings. Liu Kang was never chosen. How? I'm saddened. I'm just saddened by it. Signed photo. No, it depends what photo. Do you want a signed photo with me in my savage persona? If you've ever seen me try to be the Mortal Kombat character Savage, my own character of me, I could do that. Left my ass off. Signed photo of Dave saying you got savaged. Wicked. I got shades, I could do that. To my greatest fan. Yeah. I've just said that. Savage would be mental. Should I play on that character? Savage. I only did it for a laugh because the ninja outfit I've had for literally like 2 decades, over 2 decades. So, yeah. I could do my own character of me. Do you reckon it'd be better than Cole Young? I'd have to come up with some sweet powers. So there we go. Let's go back to these. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to my Twitter to see if anyone wants to come in. No. Right. So I'm guessing. Future Boy doesn't want to come in and leave his mark, or Lou, or Chris, or Almaru. Assuming you've heard everything I've said, if you have your own questions about my idea. Oh, here we go. I'm back to study. Thanks for the stream, Dave. See you dudes on Twitter. Take care all. Right. If you're going to go, thanks for coming. Everyone say, bye, Bessie. Bye. Thanks for coming. I hope I haven't bored you too much. I know it's been a bit of a slow stream, but I've had to try and... It's one of these ideas that I wanted to get out in a more detailed way. Dave, his mind is going mad at the moment. I think we need a stream. Oh, your mind is going mad. What, the fact that they're not the chosen ones? Yeah, crazy, isn't it? So there you go. You've got some material there to get this out there. And if you could, this goes out to Future Boy as well. You know. If you could, drop that I come up with this, right? And, Dave Savage is the one to come up with the idea that would fix this, and then link to this stream, I'd be extremely grateful. Extremely. Chris says, I'm cool with the idea. Fixes a lot of issues. Thank you. It's not something I've kind of dwindled at. I have literally tried to weave it through the film we have. It's already there. You need to work with it, not against it. So laying the groundwork, as well as fixing them holes, tying off them knots. They're not the chosen ones. Your Shinnok idea. Love it. Thanks, Lou. Thanks. Sometimes I come up with some bangers, which is why, I don't just rush into them. It's like I have loads of ideas, but then I wither them down and I try to scrutinize my own ideas. And then sometimes I hit a brick wall on some of them. I'm like, but that, say I've got an idea that I think, oh, that's good. But then I watch the film and then I go over the details. I'm like, that won't work because of this that's happening in the film. So I've literally had to go through the film with this idea and weave it through. With the added factor that Shinnok has been playing Ready for a Fall since day one. Since Outworld declared Mortal Kombat an Earthrealm. This is Shinnok's way of really messing up Raiden. So there we go. So now, because I've gone over that idea and it's coming up to an hour and 15, I'll quickly go over the competition again. So the competition is to win one of these t-shirts. I'll do a competition once every 2 weeks. So it's not going to be once every generation. What's this here? Do you think that they use your idea that maybe Shinnok could take control of them because of the mark and by that way, they can show Liu Kang being the only one to break out of the control. No, because it's not a control thing, is it? Because no one's kind of controlled, if you know what I mean. No one is under anyone's influence. The idea of Shinnok, this being Shinnok's marking, is a way to deceive Raiden into believing that only those with the marking are the ones that are chosen and that have the power. So Raiden has to contend with those that have crappy powers and are not even the best of us. So he's been diverted away from the best of us by going after and looking for those with the marking, which is what this is the deception of Shinnok's mark. And continue on from your last one. You say, and when it happens, it proves he's chosen. He's the chosen one. Well, this would make him kind of the chosen one anyway. The idea I'm going over, because he was close to unlocking it anyway. He just needed that little oomph over the edge. He was almost close to unlocking it himself. But when he killed the bad person and stole the marking, that's when he said his power come forth at that moment, which meant it was basically there anyway. But you could say the reason why Liu Kang also looked to be, you could say Liu Kang looked to be off, like he didn't feel like he was chosen. Maybe something like this idea that I've come up with today would put a bit more confidence, not just in Raiden, but Liu Kang as well. And this would then this would make Liu Kang want to prove himself to actually being the chosen one. It's all about deceiving Raiden. Yeah. It's all basically, this is what Shinnok does. Because of that mural we saw from the Mortal Kombat film of Raiden delivering that final blow, sending Shinnok to the Netherrealm, he's holding a grudge. He's holding a grudge against Raiden. Oh, hang on, what's this? How do I retract messages? If you go on your message, you should have like 3 dots. And it's like an options. So you can retract. Why? What do you want to retract? What have you put? All caps by Vasily. I'm going through all your messages. Savage would be a mental character, he says. Then you put, the poster was so cool for that character. Thanks, Alamaru. Don't retract then. What's this? Yeah, I'll get you now. Thank you for that. Yes, Aladdin, that's how. Oh, yeah, about the options. So, yeah, it's, again, the idea I come up with is not just some silly idea. I've literally weaved it through the film we have. So it works. Raiden has been deceived by the deception of Shinnok's mark. So there we go. I think I'm right. Right, I'm done. I'm done on it now. So yeah, the competition. I'll be posting this up, and you've got to keep within this. So short and sweet. But I still need a hashtag. I can't go without a hashtag. So what hashtag could go with this? Oh man, on the spot. I'm on the spot again. Someone think of a hashtag for this competition, and it's got to be unique. No, but I've got someone to print one off when I need one. So I've still got a couple of weeks. Create a character. Yeah, create your own. And it could be from any timeline, any period of the timeline. So basically, twist the lore to your character. Twist the lore to your character. As you know, it's just got to be engaging. It's got to be, enough to fit this page. A la boom. A baboom. Yeah, there we go. Right. So there we go. I'll be posting this on Twitter very soon. So there we go. I'm done. Create a character. Now, if you go on Twitter now, does that hashtag already exist? Let's have a look. Let's have a quickie. Let's have a look. So if I go, let's go search. Hashtag create a character. Let's have a look. Oh, it exists, but only one person's used it. And that was back in November 30, 2019. Okay. Create a character. So if we go with create a character, should we have something at the end? Comp. No, hang on. Create a character. Competition. Let me add competition with a K. Competition. Yes. Right. Okay. Here we go. So it'd be, I'm going to put it in the chat. Create a. Oh. Create a character competition. So here we go. Here we go. If you want to get involved in this competition, that's the hashtag. But only use that hashtag. Well, it would help if you want to spread it around. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to link it to this stream, or I'll do it myself. But with the competition, have your picture. It could be a drawing. It could be a 3D model. It could be photoshopped. You have the two images, so you put them in your Twitter feed, and then with the hashtag. So there you go. Create a character competition. There we go. We're as Alamoro says, we're in business. Right, I'm going out there. Okay. Oh, so there we go. Right, I'm going now, Dave. Dave, I'll message you. Great stream, buddy. Thank you very much. I'm going to shoot off now, and I'm going to say my immortal words. So hang on. Let's get me on stream. Here we go. So yeah. Thank you everyone for coming on and listening to my idea. I'm hoping that everyone got the details they need for this idea to work for a sequel. So all that's out there now. So tag Greg Russo, Todd Gardner, link them to this. Say, there's an idea here you could use. And it'd be good to get some sort of thanks. You've helped us out of a dodgy situation. Again, don't want no payment, just name drop me. But yeah, if you want to win a Fic-tagious t-shirt, I've gone through the what you got to do. So I'll be posting that picture up, and we'll see if we can get this rolling every 2 weeks for now. And if it does kick off, if it does get enough people behind it, and we have more people in the stream, then I will up it a week. So it'd be like once every week, every Tuesday. I'll do a competition every Tuesday, and then obviously, DM me addresses of the winners. I'll pick the winner, and then you get delivered to you. So there we go. Thank you everyone for coming on, and your view is mine. Bye bye everybody. Thanks for coming.